Alright, so I'm here in the rain, uh, and it actually stopped for a little bit, and now it's starting again, so, right as I started making this. Whatever, I'm in my car, so who cares about the rain? So, today, doing another one of these more focused, videos, because the earlier ones were not very focused, so, I really like when I have more focus and when I'm not just kind of spewing random shit. I just did that one where I just was spewing random shit talking at the park for a bit, and then I sat in my car for like an hour. So, yeah, I wanted to do something more focused and not feel like I'm all over the fucking place. I still might be a little all over the place, I don't know. But, yeah, at least wanted to make this. So that's what we're gonna do. So, today I want to talk about kind of doing what you enjoy, so to speak. Which, I'll mention why I say enjoy in quotations in a bit. And so, really it kind of starts with yesterday. Because I was really waiting for this weekend because there's nothing big going on this weekend. And my hope was I would finally get to play some Call of Duty Black Ops 7 Zombies. That was the big thing. I'm gonna play some Black Ops 7 Zombies. I'm gonna beat that Ashes Easter egg finally. Kinda sucks that I didn't get to do it before, the nerfs and everything. But whatever. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do the Easter egg. I'm gonna beat it. I'm gonna get that calling card. And bam. That's what's gonna happen. I was really looking forward to it, honestly. I was like, dude, I've been wanting to play this game so much. I'm ready. I spent $70 on this game. I'm gonna get my $70 worth. And I also have been I've been not playing it, but I was watching a lot of stuff in the background, getting excited for the next DLC map and just kind of like getting interested in the story. Just thinking about the story a lot because the story feels really exciting. And I just love the aesthetics. I love kind of where the community is because it feels like people are actually like enjoying the game a lot. And I was excited to play it. And I hadn't really played it much. I had played like a couple hours on the night it launched. And then I played a little bit when the Easter eggs first came out because I wanted to hear the Easter egg song. And then I didn't play it like at all, pretty much. Like maybe a little bit here and there, but not very much. And then I did like half of the Easter egg last weekend. I did like half the Easter egg. And my goal was, okay, this weekend I'm going to do the rest of it. And so I started it up, and honestly, was not really enjoying it that much. Like, honestly, I was not enjoying it. And it's really bizarre because I should enjoy it. And I was trying to think about why. And I think there were a couple reasons why, to be honest with you. The first was that I was just bad. I fucking went down like a couple times. I could actually show the footage. Let's show the footage. There's the footage of me going down right there. It was not very smart. I was yeah. I was fucking stupid. And so I eventually was like, you know what? Fuck this. I've turned so many rounds. I'm just going to restart and I'm just going to do it again and I'll be in a better headspace. Because also, as I mentioned, I continued from a save. And like maybe that wasn't great as well. Because I kind of just got dropped in the middle of the game and like had to remember what the fuck I was doing and where I was going and like what my next steps were and all that. And I'd do this fucking key step and everything, whatever. And I also think there's potential that some of it came from burnout as well, because I feel like I really experienced some zombies burnout last year. Or I'm thinking BO6 is last year. It's not last year. I guess technically in the last year of zombies, I could say. But I really did experience a lot of burnout towards the end of BO6 especially. I feel like the start of BO6, I grinded the shit out of that game. I enjoyed it. And then I really enjoyed Citadel. The Tomb was still very fun. And then it kind of started going downhill with, wow, holy shit. That is a lot of rain. Holy fuck, man. But as I was saying, yeah, I feel like I was getting pretty burnt out. I was tired, and like, especially Shattered Veil, I did enjoy, but I kind of like took a little bit of break like towards the end before Reckoning came out. Then Reckoning came out and I played it, and like once I beat Reckoning, I just kind of really did not play the game much more than that. And I thought about doing this like retrospective that I was gonna do, where I go over all the maps and everything and kind of the community sentiment and how I was feeling about it, and like the things I really like about the maps that I feel like people don't say enough. And I did Liberty Falls, Terminus, and Citadel. I did all those Easter eggs. And after Citadel, I was thinking about doing the Tomb, and then I just kind of was like, man, like I just don't really feel like doing it anymore. So I didn't. And I just stopped playing. And then BO7, like the BO7 beta came, so I wanted to play that, so I played that a little bit. That was fine. It's like whatever. I wasn't really enjoying it too much, but I was like, okay. And then BO7 has come out now, and I've just still kind of been like, I don't know. And so I kind of feel like maybe there's a little bit of burnout there, because I've played so much zombies over the past year that it's like year and a half, I guess at this point, really, that it's like, you know, maybe I'm just a little burnt out. But it feels like I should enjoy it. I feel like I should be having fun, and I'm not. And it kind of almost felt like yesterday when I was playing it, I was like almost forcing myself to play it, which is like a very weird thing. Do I keep thinking that like my car is like smoking? But there's no smoke. I think it's like reflecting off the back, because the smoke is back there. But I keep thinking like the hood of my car is smoking. I'm like, what the fuck? Anyways, though, I felt like I was forcing myself to really play it, and it felt weird. And so that's why, like, eventually I think I got to like round 9 or something, and I was like, I'm just gonna save and quit and just stop. I'm just like not feeling it. And so I did that, and I kept reflecting on it throughout the night and just wondering, like, dude, why? Like, I should be excited. Like, I've been waiting for this for like a week. I've been waiting to fucking finish this Easter egg. I did get to see the mid fuck, what is it called? Mid-map cutscene? Like, why am I in mid-game cutscene? Why am I drawing a blank on this? I don't know. But I had to see the cutscene in the middle of the Easter egg, and it kind of, filled in some gaps, because I saw the end game cutscene already. I saw the boss fight and everything, because I was too much of a little bitch to want to wait and see it for myself. So I just ended up watching it. But yeah, now I got to see the mid-game cutscene as well. And yeah. So that was cool. But I still felt like I should have been enjoying this. Like, I was looking forward to this. So why was I not enjoying it? And I kind of walked away with this feeling of like, I'm supposed to be enjoying this. Why am I not enjoying this? I don't understand. What's going on? And it almost felt like there was something wrong, Like, it felt like this is not correct. I should not be feeling like this. What's going on? Like, is there something wrong with me? What's happening? And I think this kind of ties into a lot of what I said in a previous video, where I talked about how I'm not really a gamer anymore, and I'm not really playing games anymore. But it goes beyond that, because I also feel like I'm not even really enjoying games anymore. And I kind of mentioned this in that, I don't know if I'm uploading it before or after this, but I mentioned it in that kind of video where I walked around the park for a bit, and then I like spent an hour in my car. I mentioned throughout that video that I was experiencing a lot of burnout in Pokemon Go 2, which I think it kind of makes sense, to be honest, because I've been playing since like 2021. I've been playing consistently since 2021. Not just like, oh, you know, I played the game and like I open it every once in a while, and like, no, I would play it like almost daily for 4 years at this point. It's been 4 years, over 4 years of me playing it daily. So, you know, and it's like I kind of did a lot of the stuff already. And I really only find myself playing the game at this point because I care about the local community, and I like hanging out with my local community, because there are a lot of people that I only met because of the game, and I enjoy talking to them, and so we often play the game and we meet up to play the game and stuff, you know? So that's really all that kind of keeps me pulled in at this point, because the game itself I just don't really enjoy that much anymore, and so usually half the time I'm just kind of auto-catching. That's basically what I'm doing. And the reason why I'm auto-catching is for 2 reasons. Number 1 is because it's just convenient. I don't have to spend time sitting there catching every single thing. I could just let it do its job, which it's actually doing right now. Because as I'm recording this, it's actually Picky Peck Community Day, which another kind of thing about Go right now is that the events are kind of whatever. I don't really care that much about Picky Peck Community Day. I got like 6 shinies now. I'm okay. But I feel like it's just so much easier if I just have it auto catch and just whatever. I don't care if it misses a shiny or something. Well, whatever. It's fine. But also, I have so much less time now that realistically I can only auto catch most of the time anyway. Like, the only time I have to go outside really is when I'm doing something else. So I just have it on when I'm driving or something. Like, I drive to work, I have it on. I'm at work, I have it on. I go home, I have it on. And that's like, that's my time where I get to catch Pokemon most of the time, unless it's like a weekend or I have a day off or something, or I don't have to go to work early. So that's kind of where I'm at in terms of the game. And like, if I'm being 100% honest too, I could not tell you a lot of the like interesting stuff that I caught recently. Like, it would basically be, it would be like, oh, you know, I caught like a shiny Mighty Granbull during Wild Area. I got a shiny Grimmsnarl, and I don't know. Like, I got like a shiny Impidimp. That's a new shiny. Yeah, that's kind of it. I don't know. Like, really, there is not much that I'm like, yeah, I got this thing and I got this, and like, you know, this event, I got this thing. There's just not really that much that I can even remember anymore, because it's just like everything just kind of blends together and I don't really care. And I used to be up to date on like every event and everything. I was always on top of that shit. And now I don't even care. Like, I don't even bother looking at half the stuff half the time. You know? So that's kind of where I'm at with Pokemon Go. I kind of feel like I've been burnt out of that, and I just am not really enjoying it as much as I used to. And the only reason I'm still enjoying it is because of the local community. And then there are also a bunch of Steam games that I bought with my money from work. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to play these games at some point. And most of them I have not touched. So, like, for example, I bought Blueprints. I'm excited to play that at some point, but I bought it and I haven't fucking touched it. I bought this, like, trilogy of visual novels, because the most recent one came out. I mentioned it before. And I haven't touched those yet. So, I haven't touched that. I bought Halo Master Chief Collection. I haven't played that. I mean, I played Halo 1 years ago on Master Chief Collection when I had Game Pass for like 3 months for like 99 cents or something. I enjoyed that game. I want to play Halo 2 and Halo 3 at least. But like, Haven't haven't played it. And I bought Heroes of Hammerwatch 2 because I played Heroes of Hammerwatch 1 with my friends years ago, and that was fun. Haven't played Heroes of Hammerwatch 2. And I also bought Inscription, which I did actually play. I got to Act 2. And then that was kind of it. I probably put... I'm trying to think of how many hours I actually put in Inscription. It was probably like 12, maybe. That was it. So, my point kind of is, I bought all these games and I thought I was going to play them at some point. And I already had this problem before, which I'll touch on later as well. I already had this problem before where like I buy stuff and then I would never even touch it or play it. But the fact that it's happening now is like, ooh, like why am I even buying these games so I'm not even playing them? What the hell? Like, is the fucking Lord Gaben just mind controlling me, or like what the fuck? And then there's also Legend ZA that came out, which was really one of the two main games I was looking forward to. I was looking forward to Black Ops 7, and I was looking forward to Legend ZA. And it came out, and I probably put, I want to say maybe like 9 hours into the game, or maybe maybe like 12 even, maybe. And that's kind of it. Like, I just beat, like, the Victory Bell and the Slowpoke or Slowbro and stuff. That's kind of it. And it's like, wow. That was, like, the game I was really looking forward to. And I put, like, 10 hours or 12 hours or something into it. Not great. Also, you know what's not great, too? Not having my doors locked, so I don't get GTA'd. I'm really only like probably 30%, if I had to guess, like 30% of the way through the game. And I do actually enjoy the game. I will say I do enjoy it. I've been having fun with it. But it feels like I just don't have the time. And I just don't really feel like I can play a lot of the time. And I feel like this phenomenon is something that has become a lot more prevalent recently, but it also isn't entirely new. I would say this kind of started for me personally around like 2018 to 2019 ish, because that was kind of when I was still like in high school / starting college, and is when I started talking to friends a lot, and I would like record with my friends every single day just to like record it. Not even like, you know, oh, I'm gonna turn this into content, dude, or something like that. I just wanted to record it because I wanted to kind of preserve a lot of those memories and stuff. And I still have a lot of those videos to this day. I actually have been backing them up kind of recently. Just been taking them off these shitty drives that, like, if you're lucky, they will write at like 70 megabytes per second. And like these files are like gigabytes in size. Like, I have like terabytes of this stuff over the years. And I would record like every single day. There's like so many hours of League content. There's so many hours of fucking Smash. So many hours of like Pokemon shit. And I have all of that. But when I started doing that, I kind of got this feeling of like every time I do something, I have to like record it. And it even started to kind of seep in even when I wasn't talking to people. I would still record stuff that I felt like I had to preserve the first playthrough of. So for example, when Persona 5 Royal came out, I didn't record my first Persona 5 playthrough, but I recorded my first Persona 5 Royal playthrough when that came out. I also recorded my first Persona 5 Strikers playthrough, and like I recorded I think like Metroid Dread when that came out. I recorded that. I actually recorded my first Smash like World of Light playthrough. I think that happened too. The point is that I was basically recording like everything I was doing, and it kind of got to this weird point where I felt like I had to record everything I was doing, because I was like, oh, well, what if something happens? I need to be able to record this because what if I miss something or whatever, something like that. It felt like I kind of had to record stuff, and also there was if I was recording something, or if I was playing something like for myself, I'd be like, well, I should record it because what if I turn it into a video? Because this one, like, around when I was starting to think about doing videos or recording videos or stuff, and it felt like I had to record everything because it felt like if I didn't, I'd miss out on like opportunities, or I'd maybe forget something, and I didn't want to forget like any moments I had with my friends, and it felt not great, to be honest with you. It kind of got to a point where it was like exhausting to record all this stuff, and it kind of was like another barrier to entry to playing a fucking video game. Like, I can't just start up the video game and just play the video game. It's like I have to get my recording software, and I gotta make sure that my drives are good and everything. I gotta make sure that I'm recording well and I have like my audio and stuff going. And it's like, dude, why am I doing this to myself? And then also like capture card thing too. Like, I have to make sure that the capture card's working, because sometimes capture cards are little pieces of shit. But it ultimately just kind of felt like it was not like relaxing to me anymore. It wasn't something I could just sit back and just play a couple hours or something, It's like I feel like I have to be present when I'm playing this game. And it just kind of became like this extra hurdle. Even with single player games, it felt like an extra hurdle that I had to get over. It's like part of the reason I never wanted to use my PS4 is because every time I would boot up my PS4, it would have an update. And I'm like, that sucks. So I didn't want to fucking use my PS4 half the time. And so I have like a bunch of games on my PS4. Like I have Bloodborne, I have like, I think Uncharted 4. I have, what else do I have? I'm trying to think. I bought Dark Souls 3 on PS4 as well. Like, those are just some examples. I have a bunch of games on PS4 that I've never even bothered to touch. And the reason why I've never bothered to touch them is because I don't want to sit through that hurdle. Because I know every time I fucking I have to plug this thing in, I gotta plug it into my capture card, I gotta boot it up, and then it's gonna go, you gotta update. And so then I have to fucking sit there for like 5 minutes waiting for this stupid fucking thing to update. And it sucks. I hate it. So I don't really use it that much. And it just it feels a very similar way with the recording thing, where it's like, this is just another barrier to entry, and it just makes me not want to do it. It just makes me not want to play video games. Because I feel like I have to record it and I can't. And it kind of wasn't even necessarily just recording too. Obviously this was kind of a big thing for me, but it just kind of felt like I was not really wanting to play games in general. There are a bunch of games, as I kind of mentioned, as I alluded to before, there are a bunch of games that I bought and I just never like did anything with them. So I just mentioned like a bunch of the ones before, but even years ago, there were games that I would buy and I would never put them like in my console. Like I bought, I wanted to get WarioWare Move It for Christmas like a year or two ago, however many years it came out, I can't even remember. I got that game, and I never even like, I don't even know if I opened it. And same thing with like my friend got me a Big Brain Academy one year, that Big Brain Academy that came out on the Switch, because I was like, dude, I love Big Brain Academy. I used to play a ton as a kid on the DS. I never played that. And it's like, I'm getting all these games and I'm never playing them. I have like the Super Mario RPG remake too. I have like Mario Wonder. I never played any of these fucking games. And like, I've just had this fucking backlog that just keeps building and building and building. And I'm not playing any of these fucking games. And it's like, I kind of want to, but it's like, I'm not. So what the fuck? And it kind of really has reached a breaking point this year, I feel, where it's just like I don't want to even play anything anymore. Even like Black Ops 7, which is like, okay, I'm really excited to play this, and I go and I try to play it, and it's like, I don't really want to play it. And so I've kind of just been really thinking, like, maybe it's not even really about, because there are probably going to be people that will make the argument that, oh, well, it's because modern games suck. Because all these games suck. We gotta go back to Eternal Darkness, Kirby Air Riders, and I don't know, whatever else. What do people like? You know, the PS2, GTA San Andreas, and Mario 64 and all that. And it's like, I do get it. I feel like personally, I'm just not really excited about games anymore nowadays anyway. But also, I don't feel like it's really modern games, because I feel like there are games that I would be excited to play, but it's just I'm not. And I feel like even like let's remove modern games from the equation and just be like, okay, you know, I'm gonna play. I'm trying to think of like a game, like I'm gonna play like FF7, like original FF7, not the remake. FF7. I'm gonna play Final Fantasy 7. I feel like even that wouldn't like excite me because I don't really feel like it's a modern game thing. I feel like it's just a game thing. And I'm starting to feel like maybe I'm just tired of games in general. Maybe? I don't know. But the thing that makes me feel is it just kind of makes me go, okay, well, I'm tired of games, but what am I supposed to do otherwise? Which I guess in a sense is kind of sad, but that's where I am. And also, I gotta mention this right now, because I felt a little, I don't want to say proud, but I thought this is a funny little thing, funny little Easter egg. There's a little bit of a joke in there too, but, funny little Easter egg I did when I was making these notes for this. When I was titling the next, like, sections, I just kind of was thinking what to say after that kind of thing where I'm like, am I tired of playing video games? Maybe. And I was thinking about it, and I was kind of thinking, like, you know, where do I go? Like, what would I do? And then I thought about it, and I was like, where do I go? Where do we go? How do we know? So, I ended up titling the next sections, How Do We Know? And Where Do We Go? You know, where are we going from Mob of the Dead and Black Ops 2? So, yeah, I just thought that was a funny little thing. It kind of felt fitting as well. And also that song, you know, kind of makes a mention of, like, are we all blinded by fear? And as I'll kind of talk about in a little bit too, I kind of felt like that was a little relevant to this too. So it felt like it fit a little bit. Anyways, though, I kind of realized today that I feel like playing games, even though it kind of never felt like it, it was always kind of an escape, I guess, in a sense. Because when you play a video game, you actually have, like, agency over what happens in the video game, and it feels better, and it feels like it's a place you would want to probably be. And like, I just really enjoyed having agency and control over a game. Like, when you play, like, Persona 5, you have agency over whatever you can do, and that's awesome. But it kind of feels like now there's not so much, it doesn't feel like so much of an escape anymore. And every time I just always feel like I'm wasting my time. There's something I think I forgot to mention before when I was talking about Black Ops 7. It kind of felt like I was wasting my time a lot. And I feel like that's just universal in games. Like, I just feel like shit. Especially after I finish playing a game, I'm just like, wow, dude, I just wasted my time. That fucking sucks. could have been doing something better with my life than spending like an hour and a half or 2 hours or 3 hours playing this fucking game. And this is kind of something that I feel every time I play a video game now. That's how I feel. But I also kind of feel like I don't know what to do. Like, if I'm not playing video games, what would I do? Because I also feel like the thing about video games is that they are really like an immersive escape. Because there's like other ways you can kind of have like an escape from reality, right? You can just do whatever you like. But the thing is, video games are immersive because, you know, when you're doing something else, it's kind of easy to hear stuff or, you know, be aware of stuff that's going on outside of the game or outside of whatever you're doing, right? When you're in a game, it feels a lot easier to kind of lock in and be immersed in that world and everything, right? There's like music, there's sound effects, there's maybe dialogue or voice acting or whatever. So you kind of feel like you're really in there compared to, I don't know, let's say like you're drawing or something. You're going to be able to pick up more on what's going on around you, probably, for the most part. And so I find that I get distracted and annoyed easier when I'm doing other things that are not video games or like watching videos or something. And I also kind of realized this today too. I think a big part of games being an escape for me is that they're basically silent. And I know it's like weird. It's like, what do you mean? I mean, like, didn't you just say it was like music and sound effects? But the thing is, like, you can just contain that all in headphones, right? So, you know, you're kind of in a whole other world and nobody can really look into that world. Nobody can just fucking walk by and like hear you and be like, oh, this is what this dude's doing. Like, they don't really know. I mean, they can like hear, I guess, like keyboard clicks or controller clicks or whatever, but they're not gonna know what you're doing. And that was always something I think I really liked, being able to kind of hide that aspect, being able to hide what I like or what I do. And it's harder to do other things that are like secretive like that, because, for example, let's say I'm just gonna sing, right? Let's say I'm gonna sing "Where Are We Going?" I'm going, "Where are we going?" Like, I'm not gonna full commit to it, but you know, imagine I'm singing "Where Are We Going?" It's very easy for people to know what I'm doing because they can hear that. Whereas if I'm sitting here on my phone or something, nobody knows what the fuck I'm doing. I could be texting somebody, I could be playing a game, I could be, you know, watching porn, I don't know, right? Nobody knows what I'm doing. And when you're actually doing an activity, you're trying to work out, or you're drawing, or you're singing, or something, right? There's going to be things that can be like heard. I mean, I guess like drawing to a lesser extent, but like, for example, singing or something, that is something that people are going to hear. And it's a lot harder to hide the fact that you're singing than you're playing a fucking video game or something, right? So I think that makes the escape much easier and much more immersive, because you don't have to worry about what other people are going to think. Whereas with something like singing, you have to worry about what people are going to think, and the fact that people are probably going to hear you and what you're saying and what you're doing and whatever, right? And so I kind of never really viewed games as an escape, but I've kind of realized that now when I look back, they definitely kind of were. Like, it just kind of felt like a thing. It felt like a thing I was good at, because I mean, I was just generally pretty good at games, I guess. And it also felt like something that I was passionate about. It wasn't just like, oh, you know, I'm addicted to games or something, or I'm just using it as an escape from my real life. It felt like I was doing it because I wanted to do it. But when looking back, I'm kind of like, definitely did kind of seem like a little bit of an escape. Like, I'm, you know, I don't want to do this, so I'm just going to play video games and just forget about everything going on in my life. And I kind of felt like that was really what that was what I did. You know, I played video games. That was supposed to be my whole identity, right? And now it's kind of like not, it feels like I don't really have them as an escape anymore, or they don't feel like an escape, because I feel like every time I'm doing them, every time I'm like playing a game, I'm just thinking in my head like, well, I'm just wasting my time when I could be doing something else. And that, I think, is a problem. But I think it's hard to know what to do instead of playing a video game, because it's such a good way to escape from life. It's like, so what's the alternative? I guess, you know, I could go somewhere, right? Or I could like talk to somebody. But I mean, I feel like I'm kind of lacking in social skills. And I also have no idea, like, where would I go? What would I do if I'm not playing video games in my room? And I think it also kind of ties a little bit into perfectionism, which I've talked about before. But particularly, I kind of feel like I'm always afraid of like not fitting in, or like looking weird or something. That sort of thing. Or I guess not being accepted. Right? So it's like if I go to, I don't know, let's say I go to like a gym, or I go to like some card game shop or something, and I go there and like I don't really fit in. I'm not really like accepted there. It just kind of feels weird. And I feel like there's always like 10 million things I feel about myself that are like, you know, you are your own worst critic. Where it's like people are going to notice this, and people are going to notice that, and people are going to notice this, and like it makes me just kind of feel like shit. And so I feel like I'd have a hard time kind of finding something to do that isn't games, right? Finding some sort of escape from life that isn't games. And it's also like, what would I do if I'm not doing games? As I've mentioned before, right? If I'm not playing games, what would I be doing with my time? And it's like, I don't know. I actually don't know. I don't really know what I care about that much anymore, and like what I would be willing to do if I wasn't playing video games. So that kind of is what I really had to think about and figure out, like, what would I do with my time if I'm not playing video games? And I'd also have to think, like, where would I go? Because for some of this stuff, I wouldn't be able to do it in my room most of the time, probably. So I'd probably need to find another place to go. And I'd probably need to find, you know, maybe somewhere to meet up with like-minded people like me, basically. People that understand me and who I am. I don't know. And, you know, if not that, then maybe like some sort of, I guess, secluded area where I can just kind of do whatever the fuck I want and people aren't gonna like be judging me, I guess. I don't know. Because I feel like my room obviously does not work for me, because it's very easy for me to get judged, or feel like I'm being judged, at least when I'm in there. And especially as I've talked about recently, I just don't have a lot of free time in my room anymore. So that means that I don't get to do those things that I normally like to do when I get free time. So that sucks. And additionally, I also feel like the park, I know I went there today and recorded and stuff, but it doesn't really feel the same as it used to. Like, every time I used to go there, it used to be this, like, I was filled with like this wonder and this excitement. And now when I go there, I'm just kind of like, doesn't really feel great. I think there's a lot of like memories that are tied there that just kind of makes me like feel maybe a little depressed, and like kind of like, man, time has really gone by, and like kind of sucks that I don't really get to see people that often anymore. And So it's like, I probably need to find somewhere else, I guess, if this is what's going to happen. And I kind of want to tie it into something that happened while I was actually writing these notes, which was this random video that popped up, which I think I had seen other videos from this guy too before, but it was this video that was called Why Modern Life Feels So Meaningless by this guy called Raw Lens, who doesn't have a lot of subscribers. And I found it while I was listening to music, and I was like gonna change my music, and I looked and I'm like, huh, that's an interesting video. And it almost kind of felt like it was maybe relevant to this. So I ended up watching the whole thing, which I know is like it's like oh well, you know, you're watching videos, you're wasting your time, blah blah blah. But like, it didn't feel that way necessarily. I did enjoy the video a lot because he was playing Call of Duty Zombies in the background. He's playing Call of the Dead, and I was just enjoying watching that while also I feel like getting some decent kind of advice and like things, you know. But I did really enjoy it, and there's definitely some other content he makes that I definitely want to watch eventually too. But there was one thing that really stuck with me towards the end. I guess it was really kind of like two little parts. Because he went into a bunch of different topics about why things kind of feel meaningless for, you know, us. And it was about like dating and whatever else, right? The economy and stuff. There was one point where he talked a lot about addiction and escapism, and that kind of ties into video games to an extent. And there's one point where he said that things which seem to fix the problem stop working as well. And when I heard that, I had to like pause it and go back again. I was like, wait, is that? I feel like that kind of goes with what I'm saying here, which is that I feel like I'm not enjoying video games anymore. And it's like those escapes that used to really, you know, work, they used to help you, they used to feel like something. They don't feel like that anymore. And I realize that is exactly kind of what I'm feeling. And there's also a little further after that quote. He says, you feel like a slave to these things, which had once just been a casual indulgence. And I very much felt like that because I'd always felt like these were just kind of a casual indulgence, something that I like to do. But when I was playing Black Ops 7, it almost kind of felt that way, where I'm like, I don't really want to keep playing, but I'm still kind of forcing myself to play. And it really kind of clicked with me and was like, this is exactly like the shit I was just writing about. What the fuck? Like, this really kind of fit in there. Because games no longer function as well. They don't serve that escapism that they once did. Because now, every time I play a video game, I just think I'm wasting my time. And it almost kind of feels like, and sometimes, you know, I'm like a slave to these things where I'm just doing it out of habit and I just feel like shit afterwards. And so I guess to kind of come back to where things are, I had to really consider, like, should I just quit video games, like, entirely? Should I just stop caring about video games? And I think the answer is no. No. I think I still want to play games. I still am passionate about games. I still like games. It's not like I fucking despise them. It's not like every time I'm playing them, I'm just like, oh, fucking hate this thing, dude. Oh. Like, no. I like games. I'm still passionate about games, but it's just the act of playing them doesn't feel as good as it used to for me anymore. And so I think, really, instead of playing games as much, what I should be focusing on is trying to actually refine my sense of purpose and meaning, basically. Because I feel like that is what has kind of ruined games for me in a sense, because they just feel so meaningless now. They don't feel like an escape anymore. They don't feel fun. They don't feel enjoyable, at least most of the time. I mean, I guess like Legends ZA kind of does, but then I still kind of find myself being like, dude, I'm wasting my time, or like, oh, you know, I should go to bed soon though, that sort of thing. And so I think the way to make games fun again is to just kind of let go. And kind of goes back to where are we going? You know, where do we go when we let go? I don't know where I'm going when I let go of games like this, where I kind of stop and just say, hey, maybe I don't really care. But I think that it's probably important for me to at least really cut back on playing games as much. And I've kind of already done that in a sense, but I need to really kind of do that. And I feel like you can kind of take 80% of this video and replace playing games with like watching YouTube videos or binging YouTube videos, and it would be a similar thing too. I feel like I need to really stop playing games as much and like forcing myself to play games especially, and just try to do more of what I care about, basically. And I've already been doing this to an extent, as I've said. Like, I haven't really been playing a lot of games recently, but I think I really need to do it more than I have been, and just say, listen, I'm not gonna worry about playing games anymore. And like, maybe I'll, play the new zombies map, and then I'll see like the cutscene and stuff. But maybe don't force yourself to complete the Easter egg because, oh shit, I gotta get that fucking calling card, that exclusive calling card that I never used in fucking BO6, by the way. I never used any of those in BO6. I put on the fucking Zombies 100%er one, and I put on like the fucking one of the weird like woman in a bikini with a bunch of tentacles around her. And I used like I had like the terminal one on for a while because that one was cool. It's like Patient fucking 13, and he's like fucking bobbing in and out of the water. That was cool. But I never used those fucking calling cards in BO6. Why do I care? Why do I care this much, man? So, I shouldn't force myself to play a fucking video game to get a reward if I don't care. And so I think that's really kind of what's going to happen. I'm just going to stop caring. And in place of that, I'm not just going to sit there and stare at the wall all day. I'm going to try to do things that I actually kind of care about and am curious to learn more about. So, for example, I'm going to try to spend time on art, which I know I've kind of been working on that for the past couple like months at this point. But I really want to put more time into art because I feel like a lot of the time I've just been like putting very small amounts into it. And I should just try to put more time into it and actually try to make things that I feel are valuable. I also want to put more time into writing things because I feel like I want to become a better writer, and I want to make more of these more structured videos, which I'll talk about in a minute too. Or, well, not even a minute, like now. I also really want to make more videos because I just find that to be fun and enjoyable. And I feel like, these videos help somebody. That's cool. That's something I care about. And it also just feels good for me too. I enjoy making stuff in general. It also ties into like musical stuff. I think I wouldn't mind actually like dabbling into music, and especially, I already like singing. I would like to do it more. There's also reading, which is something I'm always like, I need to read more. I need to, read. And I was almost getting into it for like a while last year, and then I just gave up. And yeah, I think I'm going to try to get into reading more. I think that's a plan. Try to get into reading more after I return this book to the library that I've renewed for like 2 months, which I didn't actually want to renew it, by the way. It auto-renewed it twice. So I have to return that, and maybe I'll get a new book, and I'll be like, all right, I'm reading this book. I'm gonna read this book before I have to return it. I swear to fucking God. But yeah, I also want to focus on things in my real life, like, getting healthier, trying to lose some more weight, which, I'm actually, like, kind of starving right now. I gotta go home and eat something eventually. But, I want to do that. And maybe even try to make some games. Maybe go back to that, because maybe, I'm passionate about games, but maybe not so much about playing them as I am about making them, or like the concepts and ideas behind them. So maybe that's what I'd do. I don't know. And also, I feel like another important aspect to it is I need to find a place to do these things, either by going and, kind of fixing the problems I have with my room as it is now to make it a place where I can do those things, or by maybe just exploring some new places and finding new places to go to do this stuff, and also stop retreading a lot of the same shit that I've been doing forever, like the park, for example, because I feel like I'm just kind of hoping things will change when I know that every once in a while you will meet a new face at the park. I mean, it's happened to me a couple times this year, but it's not very often, and it's not worth sitting there every single day for hours hoping that somebody new will show up. So that is kind of where I'm at with this whole topic. I feel like I should be enjoying video games, but I'm not. And because of that, I think it's best to maybe just kind of take a step back. Similar to what I talked about with Pokemon Go in the other video, that if it hasn't been uploaded, oh my God. If it hasn't been uploaded already, it will be soon. So, autofocus, god damn it. But, oh my, please stop. Stop. There, focus. Stay focused. Thank you. But I really just think it's important for me to recognize where I'm at and just take a step back and be like, listen, if you're not enjoying it, don't force yourself to do it, and just go do the things that you enjoy doing. That's probably what I should be doing, right? I should be doing things that I enjoy, not things that I am forcing myself to do because I'm supposed to enjoy it when I'm not. So, yeah. That's pretty much most of my piece. Got a couple minutes left of community day, so maybe I'll drive home, see if I get any shiny Pikipeks on the way home, and call it a day. But, yeah. Well, I mean, I wanted to do a weekly update, but I don't know if that's going to happen at this point, to be honest. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I could turn the last thing into a weekly update, I guess, but it was all over the place, and I don't know. Maybe I'll just do a weekly update another day. Doesn't have to be on a Sunday, right? But, yeah, I think I'm going to end this here. I think that's enough that I've said. I think I want to go home and work on things that I actually care about. I don't know, maybe I'll play BO7, who knows? Maybe I'll play some BO7 today if I'm feeling it, but if I'm not feeling it, I'm not going to force myself to. So, whatever. I might miss out on a calling card. God forbid. That would be such a shame, dude. Gonna flex on all 0 people that play BO7 that I talked to with that calling card, But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So I'm kind of struggling with the outro here. I gotta come up with like a new outro, but that'll be for another day. So yeah, I guess that's it.